March 22nd, 2022. It is 7:07 p.m. Miss Marbellis, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Calvo? Mr. Calvo?
Present.
Ms. Casan Munoz? Present. Ms. Garcia Robes?
Present.
Ms. Perez?
Present.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Present.
Mr. Tundidor?
Present.
Mr. Zogby is absent. Madam Vice President, you have enough members to conduct business.
Thank you. And tonight we have a special pastor in our audience, Pastor Frank Lopez, and I would like to invite him to come up and to please give the invocation in tonight's meeting. Thank you. Yes, sir, please. You could go right to the microphone so everyone could hear you.
All right, and we all bow our heads and stand up. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the council to invite God into meetings like this. We need God in order to govern with His grace and His favor. So I congratulate you guys for this that you're doing. So Father, we thank you for this moment and this time, and for each representative here that serve the city, and for all the members of this council and all the members of government, the staff, and this beautiful city, Lord. We bless this city and we bless this meeting. We ask you, Father, that your presence, your guidance, your wisdom, your knowledge, and above everything, your will would be manifested in each of us and in this beautiful city. We bless this government. And Father, we proclaim that it shall be an extraordinary year, a different year, not like any other year before. Something you're going to do, your grace and your favor are going to be manifested here. And we pray in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Father, Pastor Frank Lopez. Next, we're going to be doing the Pledge of Allegiance. If I could please ask everyone to rise and face the flag. We have Council Member Calvo that's going to be leading us. I had to sit down for the microphone. Sorry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, we are on to our meeting guidelines.
The following guidelines have been established by the City Council. All lobbyists must register with the City Clerk. As a courtesy to others, please refrain from using cellular telephones or other similar electronic devices in the Council chamber. A maximum of 3 speakers in favor and 3 speakers in opposition will be allowed to address the Council on any one item. Each speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. No signs or placards in support of or in opposition to an item or speaker shall be permitted within the Council chamber. Any person, whether participating via web platform, telephonic conferencing, or physical presence at City Hall, interested in making comments or posing questions on matters of public concern or on any item on the agenda may do so during the meeting. Members of the public may address the City Council on any item pertaining to city business during the comments and questions portion of the meeting. A member of the public is limited to 1 appearance before the City Council, and the speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The public can view public meetings on the city's YouTube page. Members of the public may hear the meeting live through telephonic conferencing using any telephone or cellular phone service. A smart device or computer are not necessary to participate in the meeting if you join by phone. All persons participating via web platform will be muted during the meeting until called upon to be heard. Participation through Zoom requires a computer or smart mobile device with a microphone and web camera. The participant may elect to participate in the meeting using audio only or appear through both audio and video. The video function of all participants appearing through video will be turned off until called upon to be heard.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Leal. So tonight we're moving on to presentations, and we have a very special presentation as our first order of business. As we know, this is the month of Women's History Month. The mayor kicked off this month by inviting all the women that work for City Hall or work for the city of Hialeah to dress in pink and gather in front of City Hall and take a photo with him. And that's how he honored all of us and really made us feel very special, right? So tonight we're moving on and still honoring those in our community that lead with love, that do what they love. And it's a reflection of being honored tonight, right? We're honoring these women at different capacities that serve in our community. And I want to say thank you to the mayor. I want to say thank you to all the women that serve here at City Hall with us, my fellow council members, the Department of our clerk's office that works so hard to put together these meetings, our Madam Attorney, and of course, the woman that gives support to our mayor, our First Lady, that's back at home that helps him do his job here every day. So with that being said, I would like to hand it off to the mayor.
You're all more than welcome to join me here at the bottom.
So what we'll do is we'll read them one by one, take a photo. So let's go down.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. And yes, I believe to the men that serve with us here on the City Council, we're not only honored, but we understand the nature of the important women in our lives, and it starts literally from the womb until the day we go, and it's incredibly important. And one of the things that we wanted to do was honor women that have made their mark in our community in one way or another. They don't necessarily need to live in the city, but they've made an impact here in the city of Hialeah, and we thought it was only fitting that we could honor them, and many of them are here with us today. I will mention some that could not make it up for various reasons. Some are just out of the country and they couldn't. But we are blessed today by having women here that I think are making a mark, not only have made a mark, but continue to make a mark in our community. So what I'd like to do is bring you up one by one and then all of them together, but because we want to first be able to honor each one of you individually. The cause of a free Cuba is something that many of us have grown up with and around. The cause for a free Cuba is something that has driven the exile community, particularly Hialeah, for years. Hialeah is the epicenter of many newly arrived Cubans who have received information once they arrive here from a voice that has been never wavered, has never been negotiated, since the very first day that she took to the airwaves and speak of a free Cuba. She's an author, she is an artist, and she is a person that not only understands the pain of the Cuban exile community, she understands the pain of el presidio, los presos políticos. She has been a constant voice, and if you've ever heard her on radio and when she's challenged, she'll smack you right back. She does not mess around. She is a friend of the city of Hialeah. She's a personal friend, and it's somebody that I think all of you know and admire greatly. And so the first recipient today is my friend, Ninoska Perez Castellón, who you could always hear on Radio Mambí. And today, and by the way, one of the paintings that Ninoska does, which really stands out, is different images of the Virgin Mary. I have one in my office that she gifted me soon after I got elected mayor. But in any events that you see where there's Cuban culture involved, you'll see some of her works there, and it's so beautiful. And I say that because the theme of our Lord is present here. And anytime I see Madre Adela, it's like you stand at attention. So please come. Madre Adela is from Nicaragua, so she understands full well the same plight of the Cuban Americans and the Cuban exodus. She understands it. She has made it a mission of carrying on the work of our Lord bringing it into home. She has been in my home on a couple of occasions and has graced us, members of my staff that have been there with us. She, when she speaks with this profound authority, yet with calmness. She doesn't have to raise her voice. She doesn't have to yell. She just simply communicates in a way that you understand that when I'm with her, when I'm around her, I feel the presence of God like I feel it right now. And I appreciate what you do in our community, not only helping those that need guidance. She's in the trenches of dealing with so many issues on our community, and she does it guided by the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, and guided by her sure will to help our community. Madre Adela, thank you for being here, and we'd like to also recognize you.
Thank you, Mayor. I really love the city of Hialeah. When I came from Miami, from Nicaragua, I came to live here, and as many of you, my family and myself, we came with nothing. And the city of Hialeah embraced us, provided us with food, with clothing. I mean, we found a family in the city. And I continued to grow up. I continued to serve in the parishes here, work with the youth, taking into mission, building a culture of love with the youth. And I never knew that the Lord was going to call me to found a religious order, which began here in Hialeah in a garage. So it is part of our history, of our beginnings for the whole community until the end of times. Hialeah is written all over our history, and I hope we can return the goodness that we have received by teaching hearts to build a new civilization of love, life, solidarity that I think we need very much. Thank you.
Hoy estamos internacional. Nació en Colombia. Vive en Weston, pero vive en Hialeah. She has spent all her time helping mechanics get the certifications that they could get to get the jobs they could get and to really create opportunity for themselves. I came to know her while I was on the county commission. They asked me for something that was, I thought, very simple. It turned out to be a little bit more complicated, but when we accomplished it together, and it was able to help many get the certifications that they need so that they could put food on the table of their families. And since then, she's been involved in the Lions Clubs, in the Chamber of Commerce. All of you know her. Recently, when we were putting together the panel to help me with the search of the police chief, the one person I wanted to make sure it was on there was our good friend, Fanny Marin. Fanny.
Sí, claro. Y voy a tomar la libertad de hacerlo en español para poder manifestar lo que siento en este momento, porque quizás en inglés no voy a tener la habilidad de poder manifestarles a ustedes lo que es sentirse uno aquí en la ciudad de Hialeah. Es lindo lo que el mayor está diciendo con relación a mi persona, pero lo más hermoso es haber nacido aquí en la ciudad de Hialeah. Yo llegué a la ciudad de Hialeah hace 28 años y les garantizo que sin un centavo. Pero los mecánicos aquí en el área, 80 mecánicos en el año de 1995, los tengo, el nombre, la lista de esas personas que me ayudaron a mí a estar hoy aquí parada enfrente de ustedes. Me dieron la oportunidad de crecer, de entenderme, porque a pesar de que estamos en una en una ciudad multicultural, pero dentro de nosotros latinos nos entendemos muy bien. Y pude crecer sin tener un peso, carros rotos, sin poder almorzar, una cantidad de cosas porque todos emigramos por un objetivo. La mayoría de nosotros emigramos por un poder económico, buscando una mejor solución. Pero cuando llegas a una ciudad como la ciudad de Hialeah y encuentras gente que te tiende la mano, esto es hermoso y mucho más agradecida del panel de aquí de la ciudad de Hialeah que me han tenido en cuenta para darme este honor. Este honor no me lo llevo yo, este honor es de la ciudad de Hialeah. Muchísimas gracias.
Seguimos con el tema internacional. Cuando estaba en la comisión, vino alguien a tocar mi puerta, concejales, escuchen esto, vino a quejarse porque había dificultad en abrir su escuela. Y uno pensaba, pero ¿cómo puede ser eso? Sí, debe ser fácil. No fue fácil. Y fueron demoras, algo que siempre estamos escuchando, las demoras. The long-winded time it takes for people to open their business. And it's something that she persevered. And she continued to work because she had a vision to be able to help young children in our community start getting adjusted. She didn't just limit it to just children. She also worked with children that have autism. And it's so needed in our community as we see more and more, unfortunately, and researchers are trying to figure out why. It's something that we needed in our community. Se logró. She has her little space now, and she's helping families through pandemic, without pandemic, and we're blessed to have her. Lorena, please. Nicia, perdón, Lorena Nicia.
Gracias, Esteban. Es muy importante cuando uno golpea la puerta que del otro lado haya alguien que la abra. Y él no abrió su puerta, abrió su oficina, abrió su staff, abrieron todo su corazón. A veces había momentos que no se podía hacer mucho más que escucharme. Pero qué importante que es que alguien te escuche. Saber que tú llamas por teléfono y alguien te escucha. Y alguien cree en lo que estás haciendo y te dice, no te preocupes, dale, dale adelante. Y siempre voy a decir lo mismo. Primero Dios, porque Dios me dio la fuerza de poder aguantar una piedra grande que siempre le decía, Dios mío, por favor decime que voy por el camino, dame una señal. Al día siguiente me llamaba Esteban. ¿Cómo estás, Lorena? ¿Cómo te fue? Yo sé que eso no tiene precio. Y me gustaría agradecer porque este premio es de mis maestras, es de los padres que creyeron en mí y que volvieron a mí después de mucho tiempo, y todas las terapistas que todos los días nos tiramos en el piso y tratamos de que ese niño que hoy no habla, mañana hable, y que ese niño que hoy no camina o no hace algo, mañana lo haga. Y qué felicidad es ver el amor de todos, porque el amor que ustedes me dieron a mí se refleja en esos niños. Si no, no lo podría haber hecho. Así que muchas gracias. Porque si no, no llego a la casa. Emma también trabajó. Emma aguantó a mami, caminó, estuvo hasta las 11 de la noche en la comisión sentada con 3 añitos. Y estuvo con mami todo el tiempo. Entonces, el premio también es de ella. No me deportan.
Sin duda ninguna, sin duda ninguna. Y Emma va a recibir uno también. Gracias, Emma. Gracias por todo el trabajo que hace, mi cielo. En los últimos 2 años que estábamos en campaña, me parece que estábamos en campaña 24 meses, vinieron muchas personas a acercarse a nuestra campaña, con mucho cariño, mucho amor. Aprendimos mucho de tantas personas y en parte de esa enseñanza era conocer lo que hacen tantas personas lindas en nuestra comunidad y en muchas ocasiones lo hacen en silencio. Roxana es una de esas personas que se dedica a trabajar en la comunidad, hace algo que muchas personas quizás no toman en cuenta o no lo quieren hablar, y es el tema de mujeres abusadas. Y Roxana, panameña, pero no es culpa de ella, ha sido una de esas personas, una mujer de fe y una mujer de fe de corazón, donde ella está proclamando el nombre de Dios y esa misión de ayudar a mujeres que no saben a dónde virar. Y ahí está la puerta de Roxana ayudando a tantas personas. Ahora después tiene su programa de radio, no, ahorita va a aspirar a algo, pero que aspiren dorado, no aquí en Hialeah, por un dolor de cabeza. Pero con mucho cariño, Roxana Siberia.
Wow, introducción me ha dado. Gracias, alcalde. Y para mí fue un placer también haber sido parte de esta victoria, de este triunfo de todos ustedes. Y fue un honor haber podido trabajar en la campaña de ustedes y haber aprendido muchas cosas. Antes que nada, este premio, este reconocimiento es para Dios primero, después para mi hija y para cada mujer que vive en silencio, que cada 3 segundos pasa por violencia doméstica. Yo no me merezco nada. Este premio es para ellas porque ellas son merecedoras de este reconocimiento que a través de mí puedo llevar el mensaje a través de los medios de ustedes, oficiales electos, de poder ser esa voz latina, hispana para cada mujer que sufre en silencio, que vive en un cautiverio que no les permite hablar cuando están pasando por violencia doméstica. Así que yo les agradezco de verdad este reconocimiento y quiero dejarles saber, yo llegué aquí hace 30 años y la primera ciudad que viví fue Hialeah. Así que quiero decir que también soy parte de Hialeah. Hialeah la llevo en el corazón porque aquí pasé mis mejores años de juventud y mi familia, todo, cuando llegaron aquí, todos llegaron a la ciudad de Hialeah. Así que amo esta ciudad, la bendigo y sé que ustedes van a seguir haciendo un gran trabajo para la ciudad de Hialeah y los felicito por todo lo que están haciendo y por todo lo que viene para Hialeah. Así que a todos esos residentes de Hialeah yo les digo que tienen muy buen alcalde y muy buenos concejales. Así que muchas gracias.
Gracias, Roxana. A la foto. Seguimos con el tema internacional. It's like a small world in Disney World, ¿verdad? It's like a small world. Yo cuando estudiaba, estaba estudiando ciencias políticas y me di cuenta después que había terminado la universidad que iba a hacer en ese momento, ¿verdad? Y yo me imagino que Ángela a lo mejor se sintió igual. Ciencias políticas, ¿ahora qué? Bueno, ahora qué, es empresaria, ha creado una revista, Imagen, en nuestra comunidad, muchos lo conocemos. Ella también es colombiana, Fanny, paisana tuya. Es una señora que coopera con la Cámara de Comercio. eh, en mi opinión, es un role model for muchas personas que quieren, I don't know why I'm speaking Spanish, but anyways, I should be doing this in English. She's a role model, I think, for those up and young coming women that want to follow in footsteps. Imagine Magazine now has become, in my opinion, something that's reflective of what we are here in the city of Hialeah, and it highlights a lot of what we've been trying to do and what we're going to be doing in the city of Hialeah. And it's extremely important because I think it's a snapshot of what I think the potential of our city. And as all of you have heard, and I think all of you agree with me, our city is going places. And Imagine Magazines is going with us, okay? So with all that, Angela Calderón.
Bueno, buenas noches. Dicen que detrás de cada hombre importante hay una mujer, pero yo creo que Hialeah me dio a mí el verdadero amor y me dio ese hombre que está ahí para mí, para impulsar mi visión, mi misión y mi propósito de vida. Yo estoy aquí parada por él. A veces a mí me dan pena esas cosas. Y sé que son importantes, no por el ego, sino porque te ayudan a difundir tu mensaje. Por eso me he acostumbrado. Pero yo tengo una misión en mi corazón y es mi vida. Madre soltera, un país que no me prometía nada ni a mí ni a mi hijo. Y sabía que tenía que hacer algo por él y por mí y lo he conseguido. Y por eso prometí ayudar a mujeres que estén en la situación mía, porque a mí me cobraron $500 por abrir mi empresa y vale $75. Entonces muchas veces tú no necesitas que te ayuden con plata, sino que te den información, que te digan, que te guíen. Y eso es lo que estoy haciendo yo y lo voy a seguir haciendo. Y agradezco a la ciudad de Hialeah porque siempre me ha apoyado y siempre ha dicho presente. Entonces, muchas gracias. Esto es para mí, para mi hijo, para ti, que te amo con todo mi corazón.
No te vayas, quédate aquí con nosotros. Fanny, por favor. Lorena, Roxana, Inoca, madre, por favor, todas suman. If we could all give them a round of applause for everything they do in our community. We are blessed as we celebrate Women's Month. We are blessed with strong women who not only have been instrumental in our community, continue to guide our community. We're blessed, ladies. Thank you so much for all of you being here. Thank you. Thank you.
I think so.
We planned. We wanted to match Marbelli's.
También, pink. Another one. No, we're just gonna go with this one, same thing.
The other ones that are on the paper.
Okay.
That's what he said.
All right, okay. So I'll let you read the other ones. The other ladies first. No? Mention them and then we'll move on to.
Wait, can we eat this?
There are some ladies that couldn't be here with us today, like the mayor had said. So we're just gonna briefly mention them and honor them.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. And before I mention them, I want to also recognize you and Councilman Casals, Jackie, strong women that serve on our board here, and we're honored and thank you for the service that you provide to our community. Surrounded by strong women, our city clerk, city attorney, many of the staffers here in the city, directors. We're blessed. We're blessed, and we know that this city moves in many reasons for the strong women that we have. We will also be recognizing Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez, who is not here with us today. She's now in Israel on a mission. Madeline Pomariega, who is the leader now of Miami-Dade Community College, Hialeah girl, which is always something very impressive, and we want to always remember. Dr. Maricet Marrero, who is now the regional president for South Florida Regional, I guess, hospitals, the Stewart Hospitals, Hialeah Hospital, Palmetto Hospital, and so we're honored. Lieutenant Stacy Munoz, the first Latina fire lieutenant in the city of Hialeah, and she couldn't be here with us today. I'm sure she's serving our community. So all strong women, Madam Vice President, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor, and thank you for those lovely words. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Moving on to our part B of our presentations. Go ahead, Mayor. You wanted to honor.
Pastor Frank and his wife, Saida, have been ministering to our communities now for a long time. They have, during the pandemic, I think many of us became more aware of the role that our churches do in our community more than ever before. We understood that we went there to give therapy to our soul. We understood that we would go to church to be one with God. But if anything, the pandemic has also shown us that the church is instrumental in helping in so many other areas, mental health, feeding people. And Pastor Frank and his church, Iglesia Jesus Worship Center, has been instrumental in ministering to our communities. I felt it was extremely important that we not only acknowledge it with a certificate of appreciation, but also with the key to the city of Hialeah. So I'm going to go down again. You could all welcome to join me as we give. And Pastor, just a note, we do change the locks every year. So just as a
So use it
footnote,
while you can.
Use the key while you can. Yes. Sorry, guys. I hope you give me all your cardio today. Yo quiero felicitar
felicitarlos, porque el hecho de que líderes comunitarios como ustedes, que hacen una labor tan importante, le den la bienvenida a Dios. Desde que me senté ahí, están hablando de Dios. Y me encanta ver el letrero que dice, confiamos en Dios. Tan importante. Sin Dios no podemos, solo no podemos. Entonces, gracias por este honor, gracias por este reconocimiento. Le prometo que vamos a estar orando por ustedes. Creemos con todo nuestro corazón que a través de ustedes esta ciudad va a prosperar, va a crecer. Algo hermoso Dios tiene para Hialeah, porque algo hermoso Dios ha puesto para dirigir a Hialeah. Muchas gracias por este reconocimiento.
Okay, Madam Chair.
What a lovely way to kick off our meeting. Thank you so much for those recognitions today. And what an honor to be surrounded by so many wonderful community leaders and activists here today. We're moving on to comments and questions in our agenda. Is there anyone here that's in council chambers or online on Zoom that would like to take part in our comments and questions portion of the meeting? Don't see anyone?
No one on Zoom, ma'am.
Mayor, would you want to do this now? Or you want to save it to?
I think we pulled the item to be able to
wanna pull
discuss
it?
it.
Okay.
So as you go through your consent agenda,
All right, perfect. Moving on to announcements and amendments and corrections to the agenda.
Item PZ1 is postponed until April 12, 2022. Consent item O, P, and Q have been added to the agenda, but O is now postponed until April 12, 2022. Consent item E is postponed until April 12, 2022. However, the mayor would like to speak on this item.
Thank you so much. All right, so moving on to our consent agenda, do any council members would like to withdraw any items?
we're pulling F.
So pull F. Ms. Casals Munoz is pulling F.
G, you want to do G, right? G?
Councilmember Casales Munoz also wants to pull G. Anyone else? Okay, with that being said,
Motion.
we motion. Anyone?
Second.
Perfect. Motion by Councilmember Rodriguez, second by Garcia Robles. Can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Calvo?
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz? Ms. Garcia Robles?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tunidor?
Yes.
Motion carries. The consent agenda has passed except items F, G, and O.
Perfect. So item F.
Proposed resolution designating El Flan as the official dessert of the city of Hialeah and providing for an effective date.
Councilmember
I'm sorry, you-
Casales Munoz,
the
go
item-
ahead. Would you like to
The
speak?
items that were pulled with F, G, and?
F, G, and O.
And O because
And O.
it's
Got it.
The reason I pulled it is because since 6 o'clock that I got here, they've been showing this in front. I'm sorry, thank you, Louis. Since 6 o'clock that I got to the council meeting, I've been seeing this great little flan here going back and forth. And I hear that we're doing something spectacular about flan. Mayor?
Thank you, Councilwoman, for teeing that up for me. About a week and a half ago, we had heard that the state of Florida had named the strawberry shortcake as the official dessert of the state of Florida. It won against the key lime pie. I stated at that moment, I don't know what strawberry shortcake is. I imagine, I imagine una panetela with some strawberries on it. I do know what key lime pie is. I just don't eat it north of Key West
Right.
or the Keys. And at that time, Enrique Santos, as we all know, a radio personality, started this conversation about naming it flan as the official dessert for the city of Hialeah, but the city of Miami's done the same thing, Miami Lakes. We abandoned now a group of cities, and we feel, and all due respect to my governor and my lieutenant governor, who I admire and respect so much, that the flan should be the official dessert. And what we're asking you to do today is to consider the flan as the official dessert. I know that there's been a debate. Even inside this building, there's been a debate where the law department somehow or another said that arroz con leche should have been. And I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. And the others said something about pudding and ice cream. I believe strongly, and I hope that all of you would concur. And if you're waffling on the issue, Creamy Creation, who is here today, has helped double down on this item by providing us with a flan. And if I'm not mistaken, not only do each and every one of you have a flan, and this is, I think, a low-cal one. Este es de dieta, no engorda.
Gluten-free and everything.
They're here today.
Yes, exactly. The fat's included for free, right? I think it was made with environmentally sensitive materials and what have you. I want everybody to be happy here, folks. So what I'd ask you all to consider, and if I'm not mistaken, my staff, there are flan. Is there flan for everybody? There's flan for everybody. There's flan for everybody. So all of you are more than welcome. I don't know if it's going to ruin your dinner plans tonight, but you're all more than welcome to please, if you could come up. Creamy Creation, please.
These are the artists that created the flan. If you
Yes.
could come up to the microphone and give your name and address for the record, please.
And they even have a
What a
flamingo
teal.
on it.
Yes, they
Yep.
They even have a flamingo on it.
The Creamy
Hello.
Creations, right?
So my wife is the masterpiece behind all of this.
Oh, wow.
We have been honoring women today, so I think
There you
it's.
go.
The company is called the Creamy Creations.
We have over 36 flavors.
There you go.
That's pretty much it. Enjoy. It's creamy. It's not low fat.
I'm
it's
sorry to
not
interrupt you. Just
gluten-free.
your name and address for the record.
Monica Hernandez.
An address?
No, we're actually home based. We do a lot of wholesale and stuff like that.
We need
We need your address, so
7321 Branch Street.
thank you. So you have 36 flavors, you were saying? And you sell it online? Do you sell it on social media? Mojo Donuts. Wow. So what's your number one flavor out of the 36? What's the most coffee?
Wow.
Interesting. I love that. Yeah, there you go. A lot to choose from. Thank you so much for sharing these today with us. We appreciate it.
Council members.
Wait a minute, we have to open this, at least
Yeah,
taste it
no,
in front of
course.
them, at least.
But council
at
members, I
least.
was gonna say, when you post, and you guys are gonna post about this, I want you to notice that they have an Instagram tag here at the bottom.
Right.
So make sure we tag them to let
Will
them
do.
know. And like I said, we've got for everybody. So let's make, I want to be like Oprah Winfrey. You get a flag, you get a flag, you get a flag. Make sure. Yes. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Oh, there you go.
Motion
Do
by
we
the
have a
city attorney.
second?
Motion by
We have a motion?
motion.
Okay, motion by
Second,
Councilman
second.
Tundidor, second by Councilman Rodriguez.
But I do like.
Mr. Calvo,
Okay, stop talking.
Ms. Casal Munoz.
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robles.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Tundidor.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
That's delicious.
Thank you,
Either way,
council
through the
members.
chair.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead. I was enjoying
Just to
my
let
time.
you know, I tried it and it's spectacular.
Absolutely.
Great job, great job.
Really good.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I was enjoying my plan. All right. Moving on to item G.
Proposed resolution declaring the month of April Autism Awareness Month in the city of Hialeah and adopting the motto, autism is not a disability, it is a different ability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you so much. Councilwoman
Yes.
Gonzalez Munoz.
Thank you. I think everybody here knows that, that I keep forgetting that we have this here. I think everybody here knows that the month of April is the awareness month for autism. In 2009, we started a charter school in the city of Hialeah with an incredible doctor, Dr. Moody. And we started the charter school for autism. That was the first charter school for autism in the state of Florida. Now I find out that the manner that they grew from that school, since 2009 till 2 years ago, the school was moved from different places consistently, unfortunately, because they were looking for a home. And Dr. Moody came from Broward County, and she moved to Hialeah because she wanted to be in a place that's between Broward and Dade County to help with the autistic children. And the charter school started. It's now pre-K through the age of 22 years old, because it's not seniors, it's until they're 22. And she's done a great job. We have it in the annex area in the city of Hialeah. And the reason that we're doing what we're doing this year is there's a lot of families in the city of Hialeah that have autistic family members that are adults. But we have something very strange with the Hispanic community, is that we want to take care of our family members so much that we cuddle them and keep them in the house, and we don't want them to be exposed to anything negative. And we're doing this specific campaign through the city, and I'm going to explain exactly what the campaign consists of, because we want the entire city of Hialeah to understand that this isn't something that you have to shield from the participants and the children. This is something that you have to expose to make sure that they know that this is not a disability, but it truly is a different type of ability. Because these kids are so bright, or these participants are so bright, and they have so many things that they can do. And sometimes we're just scared to let our children, especially special needs, to, fend for themselves. So, Mayor, you had agreed that we were going to do this campaign, and I just want to go over certain things that we're going to do. We're going to do a banner campaign, and the only department head that has buildings that I have not spoken to, and I asked him to come and sit down with me today, and we spoke about work and not about this campaign, was Vidal in the water department, but I'm sure he's going to be on board 1,000%. Spoken to fire department, the police department, to Parks and Recs. I've spoken to City Hall. I've spoken to businesses, to the Chamber of Commerce, and we want to do a banner campaign, and every building in the city of Hialeah every building in the city of Hialeah to put on their fence a banner that is going to be showcased like this. And it's Hialeah with the autistic, and this was supposed to be, I know it didn't come out, it was supposed to be in color, so I apologize when I saw them that they were black and white. So this is the sign of autism, is that they have the puzzle pieces that they put together. So our banner is going to have the hands of all the children and the puzzle pieces in the middle. And on the bottom, it's going to say, autism is not a disability, it's a different ability. And April is Autism Awareness Month, Autism Acceptance Month. And we're going to put this in all the buildings and all the police stations, all the fire stations. Hopefully, if it okays. Actually, Mayor, are you okay with her? Okay. Now the water department, and showcase that we're behind this. We're also going to do a sign so the businesses that want to participate could put them in their doors, and make sure that we are a part of one city together doing this campaign for the betterment of our children. We also have an autistic, the 10th annual, a walk for safety fair in the autistic school that's in the annex area. And there we're going to have the police, we're going to have fire, we're going to have training, because one of the things that we're doing with the school is making sure that we train our parents of the school, that when they call 911 and they speak with an operator, that they understand that they have to be calm when they're speaking to that operator, because when they call, and we've seen that on the news so often, when we call and the parents are saying, my child is hitting me, he's hurting me, he's pushing me, the police get there in a very aggressive manner. So we're working together with the police department, 911, and the fire department, so the parents could understand how they need to explain that my child is autistic, my child has a disability, so they don't come aggressively, and they understand that we have to walk in a little calmer. So those are the things that we're doing. We're also training the first responders, so they could acknowledge when they go to a scene, if they have certain things that they could look for to make sure that the child is autistic or the participant is autistic. And we don't have what happened a few years ago, that unfortunately one of the caregivers got shot because a child would not listen to the police because they didn't comprehend. So we're going to do those trainings through the fire and the police department and 911. And we're doing the ribbon campaign, all the trucks and cars in the city, we're going to put ribbons on them so everybody could understand that we are supporting our autism participants in the city and our citizens and the parents to help them out. So with that, that's why we're doing the resolution, and I'm hoping that I would motion to approve the resolution. Mayor, I don't know if you want to add anything else.
Well, Councilwoman, I thank you for taking on this item, and I know it's important to all of us here on the city council and our community. I would encourage not only the participation of all the employees and the department heads, which I'm sure they'll enthusiastically support this. I think this is also something that our Chamber of Commerce and other members in our community could get behind and be supportive. That way we could do two things, I think. One is support those families that we know there's a challenge. I mean, we could sugarcoat it all we want, but we know there's a challenge. And then also be able to show those families that they're not alone, right? So we support them and at the same time show them they're not alone. And I think there's a lot that we could offer them here in the city of Hialeah, not just through compassion, but through programming and also. So I congratulate you on what you're doing. Let's get the word out. Let's make it strong so that many could participate in the walk, create awareness, create funding for autism. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And just to let you know that I've told the department heads, the banners will be ready by the 25th, so they could start putting them out in the parks and throughout the city, so we could kick off the month on the right foot.
Thank you so much for bringing this forward, Councilwoman. It's a beautiful initiative, and I'm sure it's going to be very welcomed in the community. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion on the item?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Tundidor, second by Councilwoman Garcia Robes. Can we call the roll?
Ms. Casal Munoz?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tunidor?
Yes.
Mr. Calvo?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you. Now we're moving on to administrative items. We're on item 10A. This is a second reading.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance approving a wireless site lease agreement between the City of Hialeah, Florida and T-Mobile South LLC for Oakland Park, 6051 West 2nd Avenue, Hialeah, Florida, and further authorizing the mayor and the city clerk as a testing witness on behalf of the city to enter into the wireless site lease agreement with T-Mobile South LLC with a term commencing on May 1st, 2022, for an initial term of 5 years ending on May 30, 2027, a copy of which is attached hereto and made a part hereof as Exhibit 1, with annual rent commencing at $68,000, including reimbursement of attorney fees, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you so much. This item is on second reading. Is there anyone in chambers or anyone online that would like to comment on this item?
No one online?
I know.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Rodriguez, second by Councilwoman Casales Munoz.
Ms. Garcia Robes?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tunidor?
Yes.
Mr. Calvo?
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you. Item 10B.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance providing for a special primary election to be held in the city of Hialeah on Tuesday, November 8, 2022, the same day as the general election for Miami-Dade County, to fill a vacancy for City Council Member Group 4, providing for a special general election to be held on Tuesday, December 6, 2022, if necessary, providing for the Miami-Dade County Elections Department to conduct these elections and other matters relating thereto, and providing for early voting times and dates for the City of Hialeah special primary election, and no early voting for the special general election, should a special general election be held, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. This item is on second reading. Is there anyone in council chambers or online that would like to comment on this item?
No one online?
Okay, with no
Motion.
one. Motion by Councilwoman Casales Munoz. Second by Councilwoman Garcia Robes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor?
Yes.
Mr. Calvo?
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes? Motion carries. The item is approved.
Item 10C has been withdrawn by the administration, so we're on to item 10D.
First reading of proposed ordinance accepting the dedication of land improved with a pump station of approximately 2,925 square feet as depicted in the surveyor sketch attached as Exhibit A, subject to and approving the terms of the quitclaim deed attached as Attachment 1 from Two Lakes Lennar LLC, a Delaware limited liability company, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you so much. This item's on first reading. Do we have any council discussion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Casales Munoz. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor?
Yes.
Mr. Calvo?
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for April 12, 2022.
Thank you. Item 10E.
First reading of proposed ordinance accepting the dedication to enable construction of a roadway of approximately 11,548 square feet of land more or less abutting West 38th Avenue, Northwest 99th Avenue to City of Hialeah for right-of-way purposes from WGC 97th Property LLC, a Delaware limited liability company pursuant to the right-of-way deed attached hereto and made a part hereof as Exhibit A, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, this item is on first reading. Do we have any council discussion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Rodriguez, second by Councilwoman Casales Munoz.
Mr. Tumidor?
Yes.
Mr. Calvo?
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for April 12, 2022.
Thank you. Item 10F.
Proposed resolution authorizing the mayor or his designee, Roman O. Garcia Jr., to submit grant applications on behalf of the city of Hialeah, Florida, subject to ratification by city council upon grant approval and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Mayor?
Yeah, just very briefly, as many of you know, we are kind of transitioning in the grants department, and I think we're kind of pointing now in the right direction of where we're headed. Roman obviously will have my confidence in being able to sign the grant applications that we have. I wanted to just briefly speak about grants for a second. One of the things that I want to establish with the department is that I want to make sure that when we go after a grant, it fits into the bigger picture of what we're trying to do. I know there's always a tendency is that, hey, there's money out there, let's go get it. And what ends up happening in many instances is that we go get money and then we try to fit a program because we know there's money available for it. I want us to be a little bit more judicious in the way we approach these items and the way we go after grants. Saying that, I know many of you have on many occasions, in fact, I did one today, Council Vice President, many of you are aware of grants out there, and what I would ask you to do is when you become aware of one, to please get it to our office so that we could start making sure that we coordinate with the departments to make sure that it fits into what we're trying to do. I want to continue to encourage you on all this front. You are all elected officials and you all want the best for the city. We're all stroking in the same direction. But I just want to make sure that it's aligned with everything that we're trying to do as far as the city's concerned. And, like I said earlier, Roman has my confidence in moving forward in the department. We're going to be doing a couple of other things to keep bolster that department and create more capacity because it is an important function of our city. I just want to make sure that we're all aligned in what we're trying to do, bigger picture. So with that, obviously, I would encourage you to support this resolution.
Thank you so much, Mayor. We have a motion on the item.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Garcia Robles,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Gonzalez Munoz. Can we call the roll?
Mr. Calvo,
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robles,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tundidor.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Roman. Looking forward to working with you and bothering you. All right, next we have board appointments, item 11A.
Request permission to approve the appointment of Elsa Jaramillo Velez, Human Resource Director, to the City of Hialeah Insurance Committee.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes, you're recognized.
City of Hialeah Insurance Committee, is that all insurance or is it a specific type or is it healthcare? Thank you. Motion to approve.
Through the chair.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
When did we create this committee? Okay.
I don't think the backup has it.
Here.
Yeah. Yeah. This one, right? It's this one page. Yeah.
There is a provision in chapter 2 that recognizes the delegation by the Statutory Insurance Committee. There have resolutions that have been adopted over time creating that committee. I'd be happy to have the clerk search for those and distribute to those. They've been in place since prior to 2014.
Okay, 2014. And who's on this committee? Can we get that roster as well?
It's on here. It's on the
It's on
backup.
here too?
Marbelis Vacho, Armando Vidal, Ines Beecher, Jose Sanchez, Christopher Chicoa, and Jaylene Perez, who retired. And then I guess that's who we are replacing today.
And I'm sorry, I know she asked a question. Is this for insurance for all levels, for all employees, or is it a specific branch here?
It's not related to health insurance. It's related to the administration of the portion of the self-funded plan to pay for liability and cost of defense in the city claims.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
All right. So
Thank
we
you.
have a
Sorry,
motion.
I must add that it
Or-
also includes settlement of workers' comp matters. So it's all sorts of settlement of matters in litigation. So whether it's negligence action, it's matters that have been, claims that have been asserted, and we are in some sort of judicial forum for purposes of settling the claim. Or disputing or defending.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Anything else, Councilman? No? So we had a motion by Councilwoman Gonzalez Munoz. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Rodriguez.
Mr. Calvo,
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robles,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tundidor.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you. Item 11B.
Proposed resolution appointing Willian Guerra as a member of the Defined Contribution Plan Committee as the mayor's appointment.
Thank you. Mayor?
Please approve.
Motion.
So we have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Gonzalez Munoz. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Garcia Robles.
Ms. Casal Munoz?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tundidor?
Yes.
Mr. Calvo?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you. Item 11C.
Proposed resolution appointing Janet Del Coro to the Cultural Affairs Council of the City of Hialeah for a 2-year term ending on March 22nd, 2024.
Thank you.
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Rodriguez, second by Councilmember Casales Munoz.
Ms. Garcia Robes?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tundidor?
Yes.
Mr. Calvo?
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you so much. We're on to unfinished business. Does anyone have any items they would like to discuss?
Just very quickly, she's not here with us today, but for the last 10 years, Inez Beecher has been helping put together a budget for the city of Hialeah. She will soon be retiring. We had a proclamation here for her today, but
It's online, sir.
I know I see her online there. She doesn't have her mask on. It's, I think, the first time I haven't seen her with her mask on.
You recognize her?
Yeah, I do. Oh, that's what she looks like. But we're gonna make sure that we do it in the office. You'll all be informed, council members, so you could come and participate and thank her really for the 10 years of service of the city of Hialeah. And she's been very instrumental in guiding as we're putting together our new financial team to make sure that we don't have any missteps. So, Inez, thank you, and say hello to Ed if he's back there someplace.
So you got a day for yourself.
For 24 hours.
There you go. Good. All right. Congratulations. Looking forward to honoring her in your office when we get that opportunity. Mayor, do you have another proclamation that you wanted to discuss?
No.
was
But
it?
I did want to discuss item O, which I believe we tabled item O.
No, it was tabled. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We'll, that's something that we'll work out.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else? Any other unfinished business?
I have one quick question for the mayor before you go. And I had a discussion with somebody from your office, if I'm not mistaken. When we renamed Roberto Casas Park, we left Roberto Casas Veterans Park, correct? Okay. Can we revisit Triangle Park for Veterans Park? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any items of new business? No? All
New
right.
business I do have. We have, in the retirement board, we have open seat, and the open seat that is on the retirement board is from the council. So,
Will be you.
no, not the elected officials retirement board, but the retirement for the entire city of Hialeah.
We have to nominate somebody.
The city council has a nominee that is
Oh.
open right now, and I have a name that I would like to give, but I would consider and ask, this isn't like a regular nomination. They need to know a little bit about what happens with insurance,
Okay.
or with the retirement board, have some type of knowledge or be interested in something like that, because it is very tedious.
So.
So I don't
would
know if
we-
somebody-
Should we send that then to the clerk's office and maybe have us
I
look at
think,
that?
yes, I think
Okay.
we could bring it back, and once we have a few, we could have a conversation about it.
Perfect.
Because I have somebody in mind that would know that,
Okay.
but
So I would say
Open, it's-
submit the resume, whoever it is, and then we'll discuss it next meeting.
hi, why are you looking at me like that? That's what I just said. I'm sorry.
Come up, Eric, so you could.
Yes. No, it's okay. I'm speaking low now. Okay, Eric, there's a seat open. That's the council's appointee seat, right? So I have a name that I have, but I think that the council, they didn't know, I'm assuming that they weren't aware that we have a pick, that we have available are,
A vacancy.
Homer.
And it was put out to the board saying that we have a pick available for everybody to submit a name to. I don't think that's been done yet.
Say
Yeah,
that
it has
again?
been. It has been.
It was?
Yeah, I sent an email to the entire council, I think twice already. letting
About-
everyone know
I
that
didn't hear
there's
what
a
he said.
vacancy. because Manny left. He's no longer a
Manny
city.
was the council appointee?
Manny Ferreira, and
Was a
he's-
council
he no
appointee.
longer lives in Hialeah, so he's
Correct.
not qualified to serve on the board.
Okay.
Very important.
So then what we're gonna do is,
Yes.
if each council member or whoever has a nominee, we're gonna submit it to the clerk's office, submit it on the agenda and have, as an
And then
item
we'll
to
have a
discuss for the next
conversation,
meeting.
correct?
All right,
Okay,
perfect. Thank
that's
you so
good,
much.
Eric? Okay.
All right, so moving on, are we gonna take like a 5-minute break? Does anyone?
Do you want to?
Does anyone want to take a break? Does anyone need to? No?
let's go, let's go,
Ready to
let's
move
go.
on? Got it. Zoning items,
you
item
guys wearing
PZ1
both
has
pink?
been postponed. I do have some items that are on LU that I would like to have those read first, if we may.
Sure.
So LU1, I'm not sure, let me see.
Can I say I like you a lot better in Zogby?
Thank you. LU1.
No, you may not.
Yes, I did.
No. Can I say?
I'll take a compliment. I don't say no. Can we have that read in?
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance amending the future land use map from industrial and office district to industrial district. Property located at 16300 Northwest 97 Avenue, Hialeah, Florida, zoned BDH, Business Development District. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Julio? You were L2. Okay, you were LU2. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, council members. Can you hear me okay? Let me just pass these.
Name and address for the record. Yeah. Sorry. Let him get settled in.
So for the record, Andres Rivero, offices at 1450 Brickell Avenue. I'm here on behalf of the applicant to request approval for a change in the future land use map to replace an old county kind of placeholder designation of industrial and office with an actual city of Hialeah designation of industrial. I'll explain kind of why that's needed and how that came about. First, I do want to thank the city planning and zoning staff for their review. We're here with their positive recommendation. And also note that we appeared before the planning and zoning board in February and received unanimous recommendation of approval there. So this property is part of the annex area, section 17. When it was annexed into the city, it held its county future land use map designations as a placeholder. The county designation, like I said, is industrial and office. If you take a look at the map I just passed out, that purple area are properties that have been redesignated to the city industrial designation. The gray area, which is just ours and a couple others, are the ones that still have that county designation as a placeholder. Importantly, this whole area was already rezoned in 2011 to the BDH district, so we're not asking for any kind of zoning change.
Okay.
This is just kind of a cleanup for the underlying future land use designation. And the reason that we're coming forward with this now is the applicant is proposing a warehouse logistics style use on the property, which I think, as you all know, is much needed with the supply chain issues and everything we've had. This, we feel, is a good location for that kind of use. And this cleanup designation will allow us to go forward with that kind of use. So I'm going to pause there. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But we respectfully request that you approve this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andres. Does anyone have any council discussion on the item?
Motion.
No? Motion by council
Second.
member. No.
Yeah.
I didn't because it's on the second reading. Is there any public participation on this item? Online?
No, ma'am, no one online.
All right. So therefore, we had a motion by council member Rodriguez.
Second.
We have a second by council member Casales Munoz.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor.
Yes.
Mr. Calvo.
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz.
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you so much.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Lorena, do we have any others? I mean, I see another gray here, but there's some blue. The blue isn't on there, but there's two more. Should we, since this is future land use, should we do them now or when they come before us?
the city certainly has the ability to initiate its own amendment to its own map. I'm unaware about the specific ownership or whether that's, even a parcel form. It looks to me like it's within county lines.
Deborah?
It's better when they come one by one, because in this case, there was a dedication that we needed because there was a street that didn't have continuity. So when they come, we are able to.
Got
ask
it.
them.
So Ms. George, how many parcels are unidentified there? I see 1, 2, 3, 4.
This specific area is the area that was outside the urban development boundary. So when we put it inside the urban development boundary, we had to put a county designation, and this is the reason why they have that. Designation.
Yeah.
Maybe there are one or two, but there are a few.
I think there's two more. There are two grays.
I thought it was these two, and then this one. So this is the
just
one that we're
changed.
doing, but then there's these
This
three.
is- Yeah, this is the same parcel. They have a
Mm.
street in the middle.
Got it. All right.
What you see identified here cutting across, that's the RO plan.
That's the RO plant?
And that is major institution. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't including, I was just doing the grays.
The gray,
So
yeah.
I would say this one is one, and then this one would be the second, which the street or the RO divides it, right? Yeah. Okay.
So either way, we'll wait. Okay.
Este es uno. Este es uno. Este is the one we're doing today. And these are not separate. This is one with RO in the middle. So then this is 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you so much, Ms. George. Did we vote on the item?
No.
Motion.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, we did. We
Oh.
did vote on
Oh, Louis
Yeah.
motion. I
So we
second.
have an LU2, please.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance amending the future land use map from major institutions district to medium density residential district. Property located at 7605 West 10 Avenue, Hialeah, Florida, Zone GU, Interim District in Miami-Dade County zoning designation. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Hello, Mr. Arias.
Good evening.
Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
Alejandro Arias, 701 Brickell Avenue, representing the applicant, Hialeah Housing Authority. I'm joined tonight by Mr. Ponce. And this property is in connection with 14.96 acres known as Hoffman Gardens. This will be the first step of the planned redevelopment of this neighborhood. We will be coming before you for the MBD process. I believe it goes to P&Z early next week. But this is the first step towards that. Ultimately, we're contemplating a 4-phase development. It'll encompass multifamily with senior housing. We'll have some commercial uses, including a grocer and a daycare. But this will allow us just to switch the land use right now, which is major institution, to the medium density land use, which would allow us to continue that.
I love that. That's great. Do we have any council discussion on the item?
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Gonzalez Munoz. Do we have a second?
Second.
Open it up for public comment. It's on the second reading, yeah? Does anyone want to discuss the item online?
No one online.
No. All right. We have a second by Councilmember Garcia Roes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor,
Yes.
Mr. Calvo,
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz.
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robles.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you very much. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Bye-bye. Have a good night. All right, now back to our PZ items. PZ1 was postponed. So we're on to PZ2.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance granting a conditional use permit pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinance, Section 98-181, to allow a 96-student K-5 grade school in conjunction with an existing 78 student daycare with a total of 9 staff members and allow 126 parking spaces where 186 parking spaces are required. Contrary to Hialeah Code of Ordinance, Section 98-2189, subsection 9, property located at 5916 West 16th Avenue, Hialeah Zone C2, Liberal Retail Commercial District, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you so much. This item is on second reading. Do we have any public discussion?
No one online?
Mr. Mestre?
He's not raising his hand.
Good evening. His hand is up. Can we unmute him? Thank you.
Thank you. I was not able to unmute or turn my camera on. That's why I was in the dark.
There you go.
Good
Happy
evening.
to see you. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Cesar Mestre with offices 8105 Northwest 155th Street, Miami Lakes, Florida.
Thank you so much. This item is on second reading. Do you have anything that you want to explain?
In the first reading, I know that I made a full presentation the last time. I'd like to see if you have any questions. I know that Councilman Calvo asked quite a number of questions and finally told me at the end, you finally convinced me on this one. This is the shopping center on West 60th and 16th. I believe the property owner, Nilo Ventura, is in the audience there. We've been working on the declaration of restrictions, which limits the number of students, says that the parents of the students will be encouraged to turn right on West 16th Avenue and West 60th Street, that the school will comply with the traffic regulation circulation as depicted in the traffic statement that we presented, that 3 staff members will assist in the drop-off and pickup, that there will be 7 parking spaces that will be reserved for drop-off and pickup. And again, I have the full presentation. If anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to address it.
Thank you so much. Do we have any council discussion or anyone on Zoom or in the council chambers that would like to discuss? Is the gentleman here? Is he here?
No, he is not.
No?
He had a family emergency.
Oh, okay. All right. Do we want to? You want a motion to approve?
I don't have a problem with it. Motion.
Motion to
There you
approve by
go.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Second.
second by Councilmember Tundidor.
Mr. Tundidor?
Yes.
Mr. Calvo?
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robles?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
If
Thank
we
you
may, congratulations. If we may, can we move on to PZ 5? And then we'll come back to the other items.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance granting a special use permit pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinance, Section 98-161, to allow the expansion of the neighborhood business district overlay pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinance 98-1630.8 and allow a variance permit to allow only residential uses where mixed uses is required. Allow residential use on the ground floor where residential use is allowed above ground floor level. Allow all residential units with an area ranging from 622 square feet to 832 square feet, where 850 square feet is a minimum required. And only 10% of the units may have an area of 600 square feet. Allow rear setback of 10 feet where 15 feet are required. Allow 171 parking spaces where 270 parking spaces are required. Allow 14.3% pervious area where 30% is a minimum required. All contrary to Hialeah Code of Ordinance Sections 98-1630.1, 98-1630.2, 98-1630.3 subsection E1, 98-1630.3 subsection E2, 98-2189 subsection 16A, and 98-2056 subsection B1. property located at 1451 West 29th Street, Hialeah, zoned R33, multiple family district, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you so much, Ms. Leal. That was a big one. Um, so I have some gentlemen up here. Hi, would you like to introduce yourself, name and address for the record, please?
Luis Arizurieta, 16400 Northwest 59th Ave.
Thank you.
Carlos Cardoso, 14125 Northwest 80th Avenue. That's in Miami Lakes.
Wonderful.
I
Thank you.
believe that Javier Vasquez.
He's
may be
online, yes. Can he be unmuted, please? I believe he had his hand up. I don't see him now. Oh, there
I'm
he
here.
is. There you are.
Can you hear me?
We hear you perfectly fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for taking us out of order. And my apologies for having a conflict tonight, but Mr. Arizurieta and Mr. Cardoso, our project manager, are there tonight. This item is before you on second hearing for the SUP, this special use permit for the NBD overlay. This project has gone through a significant project. As you all know, this is the former trailer park site on 1451 West 20th Street. And we're here tonight for the second reading of the SUP. We already went through the land use amendment process, and we are just respectfully requesting approval as per your staff recommendation, as per planning and zoning. We haven't had any opposition along the way, and for that, we're very grateful.
Thank you so much. This item is on second reading, so I don't know if there's any council discussion, anyone in the chamber, anyone online that would like to discuss the item? Any discussion at the dais?
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Casales Munoz,
Second.
second by Councilmember Garcia Robles.
Mr. Calvo,
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robles,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tunidor.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much.
you.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
evening. I have
Thank you,
Congratulations.
Javi.
the opinion of title, the original.
Thank you so much. All right, on to item PZ3.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance rezoning property from C2 Liberal Retail Commercial District to R33 Multiple Family District, granting a conditional use permit pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinance, Section 98-181, to allow a 4-unit and meeting room seminary and allow 7 parking spaces where 41 parking spaces are required, contrary to Hialeah Code of Ordinance, Section 98-2189, subsection 9, property located at 1020 West 29th Street, Hialeah, Zone C2, Liberal Retail Commercial District, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Welcome, good evening.
Good evening, Suzanne Doherty, address 110 Merrick Way, Coral Gables. I'm here as the attorney for Santa Cecilia and the Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Miami. We're here to respectfully request approval for our rezoning and our conditional use permit. We have a unity of title signed, sealed, and ready to record upon your approval. And we sent City Attorney to your office the opinion of title.
You received it?
I'll take Ms. Doherty at her word. Must have been delivered to David Jones.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. This item is on second reading. I don't know if there's any public discussion or anyone online that would like to speak on the item. Do any of the members have any questions on the item? No?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Casales Munoz.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Garcia Robles. We have a call the roll, please.
Mr. Calvo,
Yes.
Ms. Casal Munoz,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robles,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tunidor.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you. We're on to item PZ4.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance granting a variance permit to allow 13 parking spaces where 26 parking spaces are required, contrary to Hialeah Code of Ordinance, Section 98-2189, subsection 15, property located at 621 West 20th Street, Hialeah, zoned M1 Industrial District, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you so much. This item is on second reading. Do we have any public discussion? No? Do we have a motion on the item?
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Rodriguez. Do we have a second? Second by Councilmember Garcia Roes. Call the roll, please.
Ms. Casal Munoz?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Roes?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor?
Yes.
Mr. Calvo?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you. That concludes our meeting today, March 22nd. Our next meeting will be
April 12th.
April 12th. Thank you so much.
Great job.